on the weekends.
Man, a little bit.
So apply to 5,000 jobs.
Ooh, my followers, you know how I feel about this right now. What's wrong with that advice? Why is that advice not going to work? And this is hard for me because I think a lot of the advice that Gary Vee is putting out there when it comes to job and career is great. He is motivating people. He's getting people to think differently. He's supporting them. There are a lot of people out there that emotionally have so much anxiety and depression over where their career's at, and he is helping so many people, which is why this is very hard for me to say, but that I truly deeply hope this somehow gets to him, because I would love to get this advice in the hands of that individual as well. So for those of you that follow me, you know that applying to 5,000 jobs, which I know he was just saying that, but even to apply to 500 jobs is not going to work right now. Applicant tracking systems are tossing 97% of the applicants. So if this person doesn't have the exact experience, they're going to get rejected, which is going to make him really depressed, right? Like, okay, Gary told me what to do and it's not working, so I must be doing something wrong. Or even worse, what if he decides not to take Gary's advice and he feels terrible that he didn't take his idol's advice? So this is a really stressful situation for me to watch, and I just want this person to know the better approach, and you all know this if you follow me, is if he's obsessed with crypto and he wants a crypto job, find the 20 or 30 crypto companies that he most admires, that he can in great detail explain why they're doing it better than the other thousands of crypto companies out there, right? And then he wants to articulate that. It's called his connection story, what connects him and his life experience to that employer. Now that connection story is important because it shows what's called his intrinsic motivation for the work, which is something Gary is trying to pull out of people, which is why I love watching some of his videos around it. Intrinsic motivation is what's going to get you up out of bed to go to that job every day, to learn, to grow, to put the extra time and energy in. He's spot on about that. And your connection story is going to tell an employer your intrinsic motivation to work there. Now what you do is you reach out to people that work at those companies on your bucket list and you say, huge fan of the company, here's why, here's my story. Here's why I love it. Could you give me one tip to get hired there? Can you tell me how you got your job there? You're not asking them to get you a job. You're asking to understand what it will take to get hired there. And while not all of them will respond, somebody will, and somebody will give you a tip and advice and you'll start to learn. Or better yet, they might just walk your application down the hallway and say, hey, this person reached out to me. Their story's really great. They really get us and they want to get into crypto. Because a lot of companies would rather hire somebody with the right intrinsic motivation, the right connection story, than all the experience in the world. Because that way you don't come with bad habits. They can train you. But how are they going to know that? Not if you apply online, because those online systems toss you if you're not an exact match. And there's so many other people competing. So this advice, going, a different route is going to get you the results that you're looking for. I promise you, and I've been teaching it. And people say to me, well, if everyone sees this, JT, then everyone's going to do it. Well, first of all, no, they won't. They won't make the efforts, which means you don't really want it. And I know that's hard to hear. But secondly, if you do this, your bucket list is different than the person next to you. No two people have the exact same list of companies they want to work for. So this actually really does work because it's personalized, which is once again what Gary is trying to teach people. So I would just love it if somebody could get this to Gary Vee so he could get this to that person. Again, I think his advice is so great. There's just sometimes where I wish I could be like right next to Gary and say, now let me give you the career coaching. Let me give you the tactics and the things that you really need to do based on what's happening out in the hiring world. I wish I could do that. But anyways, I hope this made sense, folks. Keep the questions coming. If you see more things like this, send them to me. I just want to help you as much as I possibly can here because I know a lot of people are going through it and we can get you there. We can, all right? You got this. Go get them.